Hello, students, can you hear me?
Hi, sir.
Am I audible to you?
Hi, sir.
Very good. Good evening, all of you.
Very good evening, sir.
Today we are going to discuss about basic vocabulary, right? So, before going to enter into the topic, you should know what is vocabulary, right? You might have seen that in a lot of situations where great orators used to speak on dais or expert talk, right? You might have gone through seminars, conferences like that, where intellectuals used to speak a different words with a very fluent language. Who try to give a good message, right? We used to get very much impressed by all these things. So, because of their rich vocabulary or strange vocabulary, which we have not come across so far, so we'll get impressed by them. This is what happens, right? So what is vocabulary? The body of words used in a particular language is called a vocabulary. Whatever the words we use in a particular language, it is called vocabulary. So vocabulary doesn't mean that only in English. Whatever the language we are trying to communicate through, in that particular language, the words what we use is called vocabulary. So gaining command and vocabulary is possible through practice, right? So if you want to gain command on any language regarding vocabulary, it doesn't mean that you have to learn by heart. It is only possible through practice, right? So it may be either writing or reading or speaking, right? We must try to use a couple of words with a different meaning in our uses regularly, right? So this helps you a lot. For example, every day, if you get an English newspaper, right? What are the articles you like very much in that newspaper? So you go through that. It may be regarding cinema content, the information regarding movies, right? Because most of the youngsters are very much interested regarding movies, right? So you can go through the article or news information which contain regarding movies in a newspaper. You can go through that and you read that particular. And there may be a lot of words, strange words, which you don't know the meaning. You collect some 5 words every day and go through that words, find out the meanings, synonyms, antonyms for those words, and try to use them after. And what I can say, finding meanings for those words, try to use them in your regular usage in sentences, right? Automatically, you will get, no, what I can say, those words will be very, what I can say, you can learn those words. It will be easy for you using those words, right? Second time. So this is the way you can gain command and vocabulary. You must try to use a couple of words with a different meaning in our uses regularly, right? And each alphabet or group of alphabets indicate different meaning. So let us see the root list of example, right? So A to Z, we have so many words. Every word give different meaning, right? So let us see the root words, the origin of the words, and what is the meaning of that? How can we use them? These all the things. So there is a word called theo. Theo means God, right? Theist, one who believes in God, right? You see the meaning and relevant, the relevance between one word to other word. Theo is a God. Theist, one who believes in God. Atheist. So this is antonym. Theist and atheist, both are opposite words. Atheist who doesn't believe in God. Agnostic, one who questions the existence of God. Atypical, not typical. Typical means, of course, it is tough. Typical, atypical, not typical. Apathy, not interested or emotional, right? So these are the collection of words which I have gone through to show you the different meaning, right? And still there are some more words with the AB, ABS. So AB and ABS means off, 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 away from, apart, down. So we have one word here, abduct, means to take by force, abhor, to hate, abolish, to do away with, abnormal, deviating from a standard, obstress, secret or hidden. See, these all words, of course, most of the situations, we may not go through these words, right? So it's not possible to learn all these words overnight, right? Every day, as I told you, we have to go through practice. It may be from newspaper or any book, whatever you like, collecting some words, finding meanings, and try to use them in sentences. And AC or ACR means sharp or bitter. So let us see some words with AC and ACR. Acid, something that is sharp, sour, or ill-natured. Acerbic, harsh in temper. Acute, sharp at the ending. Acrid, biting to the taste or smell. Acrimonious, bitter in nature. And am means love, L-O-V. Amateur, a person who engages in an activity for pleasure rather than financial or professional gain. You see the definition for amateur once again. A person who engages in an activity for pleasure rather than financial or professional gain. Means a person who engages only for pleasure in an activity, not for finance or regarding profession or professional gain. So that is called amateur. And amatory, love making. Amorous, inflamed with love. Amity, friendship or peaceful harmony. Enamorata, female love. So these are all words which are relevant to affection. You can try to use in sentences in your daily uses these words. And amb, amb, to go, to walk. Amb means to go, to walk. Ambient, moving, freely circulating. Ambitious, desirous of achieving, means desirous of achieving something. Preamble, an introductory statement. Ambassador, an authorized messenger. You mind it. Ambassador doesn't mean a messenger informally. So ambassador means an authorized messenger. Ambulatory, capable of walking. Next, ambi, AMPH, amp, means both, more than one around. Ambi or amp means both, more than one or around. And let us see some words with the ambi. Ambiguous, open to various interpretations. Amphibian, a cold-blooded animal such as a frog or toad which lives in the water when young and on the land as an adult, a person or thing having two-fold nature. Right, these are all called the amphibian. Right, a person with two-fold nature also called amphibian. Right, so we can use, if you get any person across with such quality, you can use for that particular situation amphibian. And an animal which lives on land as well as water, right? For example, frog. And ambidextrous, able to use both hands equally well. Ambidextrous, right? So, for example, for this particular word, what I would like to say is, we could see in Mahabharata, Arjuna has a special quality as throwing arrows with two hands. You might have seen a recent movie, the same thing in Bahubali also. It may be with the hero or heroine, right? So Arjuna can throw arrows with the two hands. That is why he has got a title that Savisachi, right? So ambidextrous, able to use both hands equally. So usually most of you guys or most of us can use right hand very well, not equally left hand. But there are some left-handers like me use more frequently left hand for most purposes, but not equally right hand, right? So, but the person who can use the both hands equally is called a ambidextrous. And anti, against, antibody, a protein naturally existing in blood serum that reacts to overcome the toxic effects of an antigen, right? This is antibody. So we have that particular protein in the body. So whenever what I can say, in the blood some bad content used to take place or infection used to take place, this antigen no fight with that. That is antibody we have in our body. That is called immunity. An antiseptic, free from germs, right? There are some content, there are some particular things or antiseptic, right? Like cow urine, cow dung, or antiseptic, antibiotic, of course. And antipodal on the opposite side of the globe, that is called a antipodal. Next, so these are the words so far what we have gone through, beginning with the alphabet, first alphabet A, and let us see some other words with the B. So B means to be, right? To have a particular quality to exist. That is B. So what are the words with B? Let us see right now. Be little, to regard something as less impressive than it apparently is. Be little, to regard something as less impressive than it apparently is. Bewilder, to confuse. Bell, war. Antebellum, before the war. Ben, bone. Good. Ben and bone. There are two words, but both give the same meaning. Good. Benefit, anything advantageous to a person or thing. Benefit. Bonus, something given over and above what is due is called a bonus, right? So most probably we have gone through. So maybe the word, frequent word, bewilder, right? And be little. Remaining words you see somewhat different, right? Antebellum, ben, bone, and bonus, etc. And with the C, CAD, cat, CAD, seed, means to fall, to happen by chance, accident, happening by chance, or unexpected. Cascade, a waterfall descending over a steep surface. That is called a cascade. Corn means flesh. Carnivorous, eating flesh. Carnivorous animals, the animals which depend on flesh, like tiger, lion, whatever animals, carnivorous. Herbivorous, carnivorous, we used to call, right? And reincarnation, rebirth of a soul in a new body is called a reincarnation, right? We could see such kind of things in socio-fiction movies, right? And climb, clam, right? Means to shout or cry, to cry out. Exclaim, to cry out. Clamor, as loud uproar. So these are all different words with the CAD and CAD combination. Next, DAC or DOC, doc, means to teach. Let us see some words with the DS and DOC. Doctor, someone licensed to practice medicine, or a learned person. So because not only the person who does practice with medicine is called doctor, but also a person who is awarded a doctorate is also called a doctor, right? So that is why it is called there is another meaning for a doctor is a learned person. and didactic, intended for instruction, is called a didactic. D, DED means away, off, down, completely, reversal. And descend, to move from higher to a lower level, lower place or lower level, descend. It's opposite to ascend, ascending and descending. Defame, to attack the good name or reputation of, is called a defame. So these words are, this word, the last word also we can understand very easily. It is an antonym for fame, right? And E, EF, EX means out, out of, from, former, right? So let us see some words with the E, EF, EX. Evade, to escape from, avoid, to escape from or avoid, that is evade. Exclude, to shut out, to leave out. Efface, to rub or wipe out. And EU means good, well. Eulogy, speech or writing in praise, is called a eulogy. Aphony, pleasantness of sound. It may be like a melodious sound. It's called a aphony. And fab or fam means speak. Fable, fictional tale or especially legendary, is called fable. Famous, well known, celebrated. Flag, flam means to burn. Flammable, example, flammable, easily set on fire. Conflagration, large destructive fire. So both give the meaning relevant to fire, right? Flammable, flagration, conflagration, right? So we used to see that tankers which carry or which transport oil or gas, LPG gas, liquid petroleum gas, on the tankers, something would be written over there on the tanker, highly inflammable, right? Means, so there are more chances to get fire, right? Next, Jan, GEN, Jan means birth, creation, kind, right? Let us see some words with Jan. Congenital, existing or as such from birth. Carcinogenic, producing cancer. Such a strange word and very beautiful word. Carcinogenic, producing cancer. Generous, giving or given freely. Right. This is also beautiful and beautiful quality. Generous. Grat, pleasing. Grat means pleasing. So let us see some two examples with grat. Grateful, thankful. Gratuity, money given for good service. Hom means same. Homogeneous, of the same or a similar kind of nature. Homonyms, one of two or more words spelled and pronounced alike but different in meaning, right? One of two or more words spelled and pronounced alike but different in meaning, right? And hyper, over, excessive. Hyperactive, excessively active. Hyperbole, purposeful exaggeration for effect. Right. We used to see that this kind of hyperbole, especially in poetry or in fiction, where authors or writers used to use this hyperbole. Right. Means trying to describe more than the real. That is called a hyperbole. And I am in or in means not. Right. Usually give negative meaning these two. Inactive, not active, not harmful. Impartial, not partial or biased. Inter, between, among. Interstate, inter means between, among. And let us see some two examples with inter. interstate, connecting or jointly involving states, interstate. Interim, a temporary or provisional arrangement is called a interim. It is not permanent, it means. Next, jet, J-E-C-T, jet means to throw, T-H-R-O-W, to throw or to throw down, right? That is jet. Inject, to place where needed in something dejected, sad, or depressed, right? It also gives the meaning of quality, etc. Inject. Eject, to throw out or expel. Next, jar, J-U or jar means to swear. Swearing means, to give promise, right? To promising something to do, etc. Right? And you see, perjury, willful lying while on oath, observe, is called a perjury. Adjure, to beg or command. So let us see some more words with lect. The alphabet L, L-E-C-T, lect means to select, choose. So here are some two examples with the elect, collect, to gather together or assemble. Elect, to choose, to decide. Next, love, L-E-V, love. Light, rise. If you go through the examples with love, alleviate, to make easier. Levitate, to rise in the air. Next one, M-A-G, mag, M-A-J, match, M-A-X, max. So these three words give the meaning big, huge, or vast. And here are some examples with mag, match, and max. Magnify, to increase the apparent size of. Majority, greater in number of two parts. Maximum, the highest amount, value, or degree attained is maximum. Right, maximum means that is ultimate, nothing else more than that. Minimum means the limit, maximum is ultimate. And let us see, man, M-A-N, man means hand, right? So whatever is done with by hand is called a man. And some examples with man, manufacture, to make by hand or machinery. Manual, operated by hand, not by machinery. That is manual. Next, with N, alphabet N, there is N-A-T, nat, called to be born. So some examples, a natural, present due to nature. That is natural. So means something present due to nature is called a natural. It means not artificial. Something taking place naturally. Native, belonging to one by nature or inborn. Next, NOV, now, NEO, neo, NOU, now, means these three words give the same meaning called new. So here are some examples with this combination. Novice, a person new to any field or activity. Neologism, neologism, right? A newly coined word is called neologism, or phrase or expression. It may be a word, a phrase, or expression newly coined is called a neologism, right? Especially in English language. So day to day, there are so many words is to find, right? There are so many words are extracted from other language like Greek, Latin, Frenchy, like that. So these words are from other languages to come and join in English language. So those words are called the process of finding new words are called a neologism. And neo view rich, one who has become lately rich. is called a EOU rich. So next, with alphabet O, OB, ob means over, against. OBC, extremely fat. You might have gone through this word. Usually nowadays, most of the people who looks bosom is to call no obesity. So they have chubby or bosom body because of obesity. Extremely fat. Abstract, to block or fill with obstacles. Abstract. Omni. Next one is omni. Omni means all. Omnipresent. Everywhere at one time is called omnipresent. So this comparison we used to say that Lord Krishna is omnipresent. Sarvantaryami we used to say in Telugu means present everywhere. Lord Krishna is present everywhere, omnipresent. Omnipotent, all powerful, right? So Lord Venkateshwar is omnipotent, powerful. Omniscient, having infinite knowledge is called omniscient. It is very, very important, my dear friends, this particular combination with the omni. You just mind it, right? Omnipresent, everywhere at one time. Omnipotent, all powerful. Omniscient, having infinite knowledge is called a omniscient. Great people, great intellectual orators, saints like Swami Vivekananda, right, are called a omniscient. Pack, pack means peace. So let us see some examples with pack. Pacify, to ease the anger. Pact, a formal agreement or as between nations, right? If two countries make an agreement and sign on that particular document is called a pact, right? Between two nations, a pact between two nations. And ped, ped means child education. So there are some doctors used to go for in PG course pediatric regarding a special education in medicine as a PG graduate, postgraduate regarding children is called a pediatric, right? And pedagogue means a teacher. Pedagogue means a teacher. It is a kind of methodology. Pedagogue is a kind of methodology in teacher training. And pediatrician, that's what I told you just now, a doctor who treats children, pediatrician, right? Pediatric is a course. Pediatrician is a doctor who treats children. Is called a pediatrician, means children specialist. Q, quiz. A word with a Q and a quiz means to seek. For example, query, a question or inquiry is called query. So most of the situations when you attend a seminar or conference, so end of the seminar, end of the presentation, and the speaker used to ask for queries. Any clarifications, any queries, right? You are most welcome. He used to say, means a question or inquiry. And inquisitive, eager for knowledge, is called a inquisitive. A person who always try to ask question is called a inquisitive, right? And qui means calm. So here is example, quiet, making little or no sound is called quiet. And disquiet, lack of calm or lack of peace, means always noisy, is called a disquiet. So disquiet is antonym for quiet. And alphabet R, RAD, read, RAS, RIS, means to laugh. Example, riddle, brain teaser. Riddle means brain teaser. So riddles, right? We used to say in Telugu, podupu kathal, puzzle, like puzzle. These are called riddles, right? So it is a feeding for brain. If you go through the riddle, you will try to answer them using your intellectual knowledge, right? And risible, causing laughter, like a joke, right? That is called risible. And rogue, ROC, ROG means to ask. And here are two examples with ROG. Interrogate, to ask questions. Right? Interrogation is going on in the police station. Police interrogate the victim or culprit. Means they used to ask questions to find the information. That is what interrogation. And arrogant, making claims to superior. Making claims to superior, arrogant. Right? It is a kind of nature called aggressive, right? Proud, etc. Similarly. And C, SCC, or say, we can say, means apart. For example, separate, to keep apart, or divide, separate. Right? Pakistan was separated from India. Right? Previously, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Nepal, Bhutan. So these all countries included with India. Right? After India got independence, Pakistan has been separated from Indian territory. So separate, to keep apart or divide, and segregate, to set apart from others. Segregation is to take place dividing something or marks or something like that, right? So that is called segregation, set apart from others. And soul, SOL, soul means to loosen, to free. Let us see some two examples with soul. Dissolve, to make a solution of. Absolution, forgiveness for wrongdoing. Absolution, right? If somebody does something wrong, so they may put a request for absolution, right? For forgiveness. Next, SACR, SAC, SANCT, SAC means sacred, means what I can say, virtuous, pure, devotional, something like that, right? Based on the situation. So let us see sacred. One example means devoted or dedicated to a deity. Sacred. Sacred animal, we can say. Sacred clothes, sacred impression, something like that. Devoted. And sacrifice, the offering of some living to a deity. This is also sacrificing animals. Right? With the name of God or goddess, people used to sacrifice animals, right? To gods or goddess. This is called sacrifice. Sacrificed animals. Next, sanction, authoritative permission. Authoritative permission is called a sanction. For example, we may put a request or apply for leave. So that higher authority have to sanction that. Or you may apply for loan that may be sanctioned by the bank manager, right? So that is called authoritative permission. Next, SCIC means to know. Conscious, example, conscious. Aware of one's own existence. Conscious. Consciousness, we used to say, means being conscious. Right. Unconscious, antonym for conscious, means not being conscious. Right. And omniscient, knowing everything. Right. We have gone through this word recently. Omniscient, knowing everything. Next, tract. TRACT, tract means to pull, to draw. Right. So let us see some examples with tract. Tractor, a powerful vehicle used to pull farm machinery. Right. Tractor, you know very well this. Right. Because this particular vehicle is to use the for okay, say plowing the land or transporting agri products, etc., farming products, etc. Attract, to draw either by physical force or by an appeal to emotions or senses. Right? This is called a attract. Right. So attract is a verb. Attraction is a noun. We used to use this word frequently. Attraction. Right. And as us us or ut at means to use. So let us see some examples with the as and at. Abuse, to use wrongly or improperly, that is called abuse. We can say that abused language or abused behavior, right? Usage, a customary way of doing something, is called a usage. Utilitarian, functional, useful. Utilitarian, using something functionally, formally, is called a utilitarian. Utilizing properly certain things, it means. Next, VEN when, VENT went, means to come. Let us see some examples with when and went. Convene, to assemble for some public purpose, is called a convene. Usually we used to see in circulars that a meeting has been convened at the seminar hall for so and so purpose. We used to see in the circular, means a meeting has been arranged, right? It is you supposed to attend the meeting. And adventitious, accidental. Adventitious means it doesn't mean that adventure. Accidental, unexpectedly taking place. Adventitious. And next, we or were means truth, verdict. Any judgment or decision is called verdict. Verdict decision is called. We used to say that. And veracious, habitually truthful. Veracious. Verity, truthfulness. Right. So doing something actually, habitually by honesty is called veracious. Verity, truthfulness. So showing verity in our behavior or actions. So last but not least, there are some words with the verse V or S verse and vet V or to vet means to turn. For example, controversy, a public dispute involving a matter of opinion, is called a controversy. Right? So here we used to see such kind of situation, controversy, especially through live, maybe in social media, on television, from any channel. Politicians used to take place, a debate, controversial debate, right? A public dispute involving a matter of opinion. Regarding a opinion, two different opinions, right? Regarding particular thing, two different opinions is called controversy. And reverted, return to a former habit is called reverted. Means back to pavilion, we used to say, coming to the same place is called reverted. And avert, to turn away from. See, revert, avert, both are antonyms, right? Different meaning with the sound word V or T word. And last one, VIV means life, right? Vivid, strikingly bright or intense is called vivid. Strikingly bright or intense. Vivid appearance, vivid stroke, vivid impact, right? We used to say. Next, Joy D. Joy D by Viver means joy of life. Joy D Viver. So this expression particularly extracted from French language, right? From France, right? So this is the French expression, joy de vivre, joy of life. Convivial, right? Sociable. Convivial means sociable. So these are the brief words I have collected from different alphabets, my dear friends. So I just showed some examples. This is only limited. So now I think you came to know that what are the words, different formation, right? Giving different meanings, how we can use. So what you have to do, you have your particular topic in a GATE examination, vocabulary. There are thousands of words, right, which give different meaning. So you should concentrate much on going through a newspaper or any magazine which you like very much, and preferably whatever the article you like very much, which you have interest, you go through that and try to read that particular content and underline the strange words which you don't know the meaning in that article, and find the meanings for that words with the help of dictionary. After finding the meanings, try to use them in sentence, right? And you get corrected yourself or by the teacher, right? In that way, you will get a command on that particular word, right? Every day, if you go through the same practice, definitely you can come onto the track with a good vocabulary after a couple of days, right? That will help you a lot. Fine. So you need not to buy heart for this particular purpose. Go through different words, strange words every day, right? And try to use them in writing, reading, and speaking as much possible to you. Definitely, one fine day will come on to the track with this good practice. And we have another topic today. Let us go through the few minutes. Any clarification in this vocabulary, my dear friends? Ask me. If anything, something like that, if you would like to clarify, you just ask me, and then we can switch over to next topic. We have a few minutes left. Any queries, guys? Can you please respond me, my dear friends? Guys, any queries regarding this vocabulary? No. Acha, one guy messaged me. No. Fine. Let us switch over to the next topic. Is it visible to you, my dear friends? Please respond me. So we have another topic called narrative sequencing. And here you see we have to go through a passage, right? And after analyzing the passage, try to understand the sentences followed by the passage, and we have to select which statement is suitable to the passage. So that is the thing in the narrative sequencing. So here, let us go through one passage here, right? Virtually, I'll read it for read out for you. Virtually all health experts agree that secondhand smoke poses a serious health risk. After the publication of yet another research paper explaining the link between exposure to secondhand smoke and a shorter lifespan, some members of the State House of Representatives proposed a ban on smoking in most public places in an attempt to promote quality of life and health of lifespan. So this is the passage, right? I just read out for you once again. Listen carefully. Virtually all health experts agree that secondhand smoke poses a serious health risk. After the publication of yet another research paper explicating the link between exposure to secondhand smoke and a shorter lifespan, some members of the State House of Representatives proposed a ban on smoking in most public places in an attempt to promote quality of life and length of lifespan. So this is the passage. So after going through the passage, what we have to do, you see, which of the following, if true, provides the most support for the actions of the state representatives? So this is the question after the passage. So here we have statements A, B, and left side you can see C, D, right? So let me explain the passage, right? Virtually all health experts agree that secondhand smoke poses a serious health risk. So have you understood, my dear friends, what does it mean, secondhand smoke? Secondhand smoke poses a serious health risk. Secondhand smoke means, it doesn't mean that one person smoking a cigar or something else, tobacco, something else, and giving to another person. No. If one person is smoking and releasing the smoke, the smoke may be inhaled by some other person who are surrounded that place. This is called a second-hand smoke. So what kind of risk we have due to this? And after the publication of yet another research paper explicating the link between exposure to second-hand smoke and a shorter lifespan. So some researchers have given a report, right? And they published a paper regarding this. So what is the risk we have due to the second-hand smoke and how it affects the lifespan? Some members of the State House of Representatives proposed a ban on smoking in most public places in an attempt to promote quality of life and length of lifespan. So after going through this research article, so some representatives attempted an appeal to the government that this public smoking should be banned, right? For promoting what I can say, a life and a length of the lifespan. If public smoking is banned, the second-hand smoking situation would not be there in the society. People who doesn't smoke will also get affected by this second-hand smoke. For example, if one man is smoking standing at the bus stop, there might be a lot of passengers, people who are waiting for the bus or some other transport purpose, and they may inhale the smoke, which is released by the person who is smoking. So what happens? They also get affected. So this is what the content of the passage is, my dear friends. Now, which of the following, if true, provides the most support for the actions of the state representatives? So this is the question here, and statement A, you see, an amount of damaging chemicals and fumes released into the air by cigarette smoke is far less than the amount released from automobiles, especially from older models. This is one statement. And statement B, banning smoking in most public places will not considerably reduce the percent of population in the state in question that smoke. That is statement B. And you see statement C and D. C states that the state whose legislatures are proposing the tough smoking legislation has a relatively high percent of its population that smokes. And D, last statement, states that another state that enacted a similar law a decade ago saw a satisfactorily significant drop in lung cancer rates among non-smokers. Right. So here are four statements, A, B, C, D. Which statement is relevant to the question? That is the thing you have to do. Right. You have this topic in a GATE examination pattern. So you have to go through number of models like this, previous question papers, and you have to go through the practice. Once you go through twice and thrice, then only you can analyze the passage and get command on how to answer that. Right. For this particular statement, which of the following, if true, provides the most support for the actions of the state representatives? Right. So state representatives, what did they do actually? State House of Representatives proposed a ban on smoking in most public places in an attempt to promote quality of life and length of lifespan. So this is what the purpose of state representatives are promoting ban on public smoking. Right. So which statement is relevant to this out of four options? Can anybody respond me? What do you feel is correct statement out of A, B, C, D? Dear friends, right. So statement D, according to the passage and question followed by the passage, statement D is quite relevant. Right. Another state that enacted a similar law a decade ago saw a statistically statistically significant drop in lung cancer rates among non-smokers. Right. So the people who are smoking have more chances to get lung cancer than the non-smokers. Right. So this is the statement quite relevant to the passage and followed on the following question. So this is what the model I would like to show you regarding narrative sequencing. You can find n number of models, such kind of passages, right, through online, and go through practice, and you will get command on that. It will be helpful to you. And any queries you can ask me at any time. Okay, guys. So these are the two topics we have gone through today: vocabulary and narrative sequencing. If you have any clarification, you can ask me now regarding this. Guys, any doubts? Fine, guys. Hope you understood for some extent. Thank you. Have a good day.